my mama had beef. 17 years old, kicked out on the streets. Though back in the time, I never thought I'd see her face. Ain't no woman alive that can take my mama's place. Suspended from school, was scared to go home. I was a fool with the big boys breaking all the rules. I shed tears with my baby sister. Over the years, we was poor than other little kids. Even though we had different daddies, same drama. When things went wrong, we blamed mama. Well, what's up, Pat?
What's up? This is a special episode today, Politic and Gyra Larry Love. It's kind of like a Mother's Day special in a way. January 28th is, I think, a special day for a number of reasons.
Yeah. It's your birthday, dog.
It's my birthday.
That's no doubt.
Yeah, J. Cole's got a song dedicated for my birthday called January 28th, if you guys want to check that out. But it's also your mother's birthday. I remember, do you remember the first time we met at the Young Republicans meeting? And then naturally, what do people do when they meet out? They become friends on Facebook. And you messaged me and said, Pat, you're special. You and your mom, you and my mom share a birthday.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, man. First, before we even go farther on about my favorite holiday today, let's give big props and thanks to all our sponsors. I mean, big props to Lauren Maxwell, Martin Law Firm, Tina Della Rosa Insurance, Aldous Diner, Eric Carter Salon. It's
Lee Corp Homes.
Lee Corp's Homes.
ETA Naples.
Yeah.
Petra Ocean Glass Skin.
And I hope we haven't missed no one.
Patrick Dearborn.
Oh, PD.
PD, yeah.
PD.
Prayers up to Patrick Dearborn.
Yeah, prayers up to him, man. He's dealing with death with one of his friends and what have you.
Oh, forgot Becker Custom Builders.
Oh, okay. Forget about old Blake. Yeah, but just thank you all for sponsoring us, believing in us. It means so much when you have friends that believe in what you are doing and stand behind you. So thank you. So with that, furthermore, let's talk about this day, man. My favorite holiday, your birthday, my mom's birthday. So what's up, Pat?
I'm just blessed to make it to another year. Nowadays they are a blessing, especially what I've had to, overcome and face. This was a milestone for me because I've been through a lot in the last year between divorce and personal stuff. I mean, it was a battle to get
close death experience.
Close death or death, yeah, and be able to, by the grace of God, be back with you guys. So
I'm glad you're amongst the living, man.
I honestly count every birthday as a blessing now. Because
every day,
absolutely.
Brother.
It's funny. People, they ask me, they're like, Patrick, you're everywhere and you don't stop and you do this. I truly look at like every day is a blessing and like each day could be my last day. I honestly live my life like that. Because tomorrow is not promised.
That's the way I look at it.
I look at like I'm on borrowed time, especially all the stuff I had done faced and been able to overcome. I really believe each day is a blessing and I live it like it's my last.
Amen to that, my brother. Amen. Talk to
us about Miss Dove.
Okay, Miss Dove. Man, my mother.
Yeah.
My mother full name is Dorothy May Dove. She was born 1951 to Annie Mae and Mr. John Mobley. My grandfather was a corporal, MP in the Army. Stationed in Georgia. His life expired early. So my mom was like 17, 16 when her father was killed. And, in the Jim Crow South, what she had to experience growing up in, just because your skin had more melanin in it, people can do anything to you and nothing can be done. There was not one court in the South that would convict a white person for killing a black person. It just wasn't going to happen, not during them times. And my grandmother ended up moving to South Florida. I don't know what years. It was sometime in the late 60s when my mom came down here. But she met my father, of course. They already had kids. I came about in 78. But my mom, she was a really, I don't know if it's because of her father with that militant attitude, that militant take. My mom was a structured individual, like no nonsense. She never played games. She only spoke once and everything else. Like even when it came time to cleaning up, like I couldn't go outside unless the house is clean, floor vacuum or swept, my bed made, bathroom clean, and everything else. It's crazy how everything as a kid that she forced me to do, it just became second nature. So even like me as an adult, when I get out of my bed, like that's the first thing I do. I make up my bed. My I never went to bed with a dirty dish because I wasn't allowed to. So I just always like I have OCD. Clean, that's just how I was raised. And if I didn't do it right the first time, I remember I was on the basketball court at Highlands Elementary, where we was always playing basketball at. I halfway cleaned the house and what have you. My mom came out there and she stopped right in the middle of the game. And she said, get you up in this car. Let's go back. And so I had to go back, clean the house, and then I was stuck in the house. I couldn't leave. But that's the type of person she was. And like I didn't understand it then, but I definitely respect it and get the process now. She was big on literature. Like she read. My mom didn't have an education, she had a GED, but she pushed education on all four of her children. I'm the baby. I'm the youngest. And no excuses. You're going to go to school to learn. I better not get no call from the school that you misbehaving, because wherever you misbehave at, I'm going to show out at. As a child, you always have to test it. I tested it. I had to reap I had to reap it. One time I was 16. I was 16 in Mr. Hershey math class, and it was during the the commercial with the Budweiser. Bud, Wise, with the frogs. Yeah. And so me, God bless the dead, Shabiate, Fuller, Isaac James, and me, we all had a part. And so I was the wise, and they was like, Arr! And what he did, because they knew my mom, she was tough. She was a dictator, man. Trust me, it was rough living in that house. I mean, it was rules to be followed. So he didn't never rate me a referral. He went down and he called my mom. And it was over by a filing cabinet. She hid behind the filing cabinet just to see me in action. So, man, when I did that, she came from behind the filing cabinet. I didn't know it. And right in the back, she slapped me. Boom! I jumped up from the square up because I thought someone had stole me, snuck me. And it was my mom. And she told me, get your butt to that blackboard. Man, I had to get on in front of the whole class, put my hands on the backboard. I got a whooping in the front of the classroom. But you know one thing about it? Mr. Hershey never had another problem out of me. Never. So that's who my mother was, man. Like, it was a lot of love. She taught me how to pray. She taught me how to tithe. I started tithing at like 12, 10. I gave my life to Christ at 14, like on my own. Like, it wasn't bad. She forced me to do anything. She was teaching me about communion and everything else. And like, when it came to like spirituality, it's like, I'm a kid. Like, I used to ask my mom for money, even though I know we were struggling. I used to be, Mom, like, can I have $5? Which, you gotta understand, that's a lot of money.
$5, that was
a
lot. $5 that you could buy a couple things.
Yeah, a lot. And she like, I don't have it. But then I could see her putting $20 in church in the envelope. So I used to, Mom, you told me you didn't have no money. And that's when, she started teaching me about tithes and offering and everything else. Man, bruh, like, I grew up, we lost our home when my dad went to prison back in, 86, 702 Breezewood Drive. And so we moved in with my grandmother for a short period of time. And then my mom was able to purchase a trailer. So then we moved out to Lake Trafford. And I used to come home. My mom used to struggle, right? She working 2 and 3 jobs. Like my brother, he helped out a lot. They were older. My sister, like they working. My sister working at Burger King. My brother working at Winn-Dixie. I'm 7, 8 years old. You know, so, and you know, she taking their checks to help pay the mortgage for the trailer, to help pay the car notes and everything else. It's like, but still as a young kid, I did not understand. And even when you look at today's society, stuff that they did then, you can't even do now. You can't post-date a check. I remember my mom post-dating a check. Mm-hmm. I remember my mom writing a bad check just for us to have some school clothes, for electricity to be turned on. You know, I remember going to the churches and everything else, getting the box cheese, the welfare, the peanut butter in the jars and cans and everything else. And it was embarrassing, like food stamps. I was taught to be embarrassing. You get it when you need it. And when you don't, you get off the system. And we used to go in there, like, look around, and then you hand a food stamp. Like, but that was life. We didn't have much, but man, did we ever have each other. Mm-hmm. I mean, man, it's like the love was always there. The discipline was there. The structure was there. The togetherness was there. You know, playing solitary. My mom teach me how to play solitary, you know, and war. But one thing also, when I used to have to come home from school, first thing I had to do was read a Bible scripture every day, Bible scripture. Second thing I had to do, read an article out the newspaper. Mm-hmm. Then I was able to do my homework. God first. You're going to read that scripture. Then you got to know what's going on in the world. Because when you think about it, the Bible.
What newspaper did you have?
Naples Daily News and the News Press. Both of them. They was only 25 cents. 25 cents. Because when you look at it, if you know who you are, you got great morale, biblically structured, you know what's going on in the world, you already read and everything else, then like your schoolwork, that's nothing. Because I done seen a lot of smart idiots. Anybody can regurgitate a test. Mm-hmm. But they don't know anything about what's really going on in the world and no common sense and everything else. And then I was able to eat and then shower and take a bath. I mean, man, I'm telling you, that lady was a real dictator. She was worse than Fidel Castro, man.
Now, you got a lot of whoopings, you said.
Yeah, well, okay. Because I was a fool breaking the rules. Like, if I was going down the street with some of my homeboys, and Miss Johnson saw me and heard me using a vulgar language or foul language, and she called home to my mother, I got it, you know? But it also taught me, like, respect your elders and everything else. But a lot of times I never seen them. You know, they just happened to hear me talking sideways. But I only probably had, like, really three really good whippings, because I never tested it. I never really tested my mom, and I was way bigger than my mom, but she put the fear of God in me.
Now, I was going to say, did she whoop you when you decided to go to that trash school, Florida State University, or did she just accept that?
No, she never accepted that. Choice, no. She wanted me to go to the military. I scored extremely high on my ASVAB. I broke records. Like, the Air Force was beating my brakes. So, hey, you got to come. Woo, 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 woo. I like, Mom, not true story. I said, Mom, after I I'll tell you about my college business too. When I chose to go to Florida State, right? I said, Mom, I was telling her about all the college I was visiting. So when I told her I was going to Florida State, I didn't tell her right then. She asked me, how did it go when I went up there? I said, Mom, it went really well. I said, I done made up my mind. I'm going to school to underage drink and chase the girls. I thought my mom was a pimp. Man, she reached back so far, she slapped the taste out of my mouth. Bow! I'm not raising you like that. You going to school to learn and X, Y, Z, woo, woo, woo. But one thing about it, she always told me, cowards lie. You're going to tell me the truth, and you got to deal with it. But she wanted me to go to the military, not only that her father, who I never met, my grandfather,
because of course, his life expired in the 60s, but she felt like it'd give me structure. My mom thought I never used to listen to her, but I always listened. I just chose to like act stupid. Like I still hung around the big boys, you know, and I got a whooping for coming home smelling like marijuana, and still to this day, I ain't never in my life got high. Never in my life got high. Never smoked a joint a day in my life. Taking that to the grave. Anybody can tell you that. I ain't never got high. But I got punished for coming home smelling like you say, well, you're guilty by association.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a lot of things that she really taught me. Now, in 1995, I had a visit to the University of Florida. They was offering me a good academic scholarship and partial athletic, but mostly all academic. So what people don't understand about that area, and still to this day, even when I was in law school, I looked it up. It was like number 9 in the entire country as being one of the most racist areas in the U.S. Gainesville, Cali area. Alachua, Marion. So I'm there. I'm at the gas station. So I'm 16, 15, whatever, pumping gas. And it's crazy because my mom used to volunteer for the sheriff department. And I'm pumping gas. I never forget this truck pulled up, Confederate flag and all that type of stuff. And man, they got out. They were talking mad trash to me, just selling me out. So my mom got out the car. My mom got out the car with her 25. She got a 25 automatic, 10 shot. She said, I dare you to touch him. She said, I dare either one of you to touch him. Touch him. And I'm talking about firm. That's my mother. Mm-hmm. That's who my mother is. Like, I was 10 years old. I remember so much. She went on 2nd Street. My uncle, her baby brother, Roy Lee. My uncle was on crack, bad. And he's one of the smartest men I know personally. He went to school down there in Miami and all. But he used to work for the Curry County Sheriff Department as well. And he got caught up in that crack epidemic. Drug dealers was looking for my uncle to kill him, right? So word got to my mom. My mom went in the dope hole, again, with her 25 automatic to the hustlers. Got out. I'm in the back seat. I'm like in the 4th or 5th grade. I'm looking. You all would not do anything to my brother. If you knew he was a junkie, why did you give him drugs? Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you all to stop selling drugs to my uncle. My brother. I'm not afraid of you all. They just looking. But they knew it was going to be some consequence coming anyway if anything would have happened to my mother. But she was strong, man. Mm-hmm. She was strong. That's my girl, man. Like, she just, again, work ethic. I got suspended from school. I had to go to the fields. I had to work, give her, and after I got paid in the fields, because they give you cash at the end of the day, I had to bring all that home, give it to my mom. She said, well, if you go to jail, you're going to have to work the chain gang. You don't get nothing. So it's your choice. I'm teaching you something, son. And that's like, again, man, that's like, it's just so much. And it was just, I got a chance to our relationship just really flourished so much because I was the baby and my brothers and sisters, they's older. So I was in the house by myself by the time I was in the 6th grade. And it just be me and her. Mm-hmm. Like on Friday nights, I know she used to go to her friend, Officer Steve DeLisle, who's retired with Carter County Sheriff Department, Miss Janice Glenda Passmore. They used to go over there. Like, it would be women night and talking, gossiping. The husband used to be barbecuing these ribeye steaks. She making Mississippi mud. And I used to get home, a football game over on Friday or basketball season. I'll be walking when she tell me, like, she'll be at the DeLisles because they live right across from Highlands Elementary, probably about 2 miles from the school, a mile or so from the high school. I go over there and fall asleep on the floor until she was done with her friends, and then we'll go home 1, 2 in the morning. And then I got to get up early because she don't let you sleep in.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get up 7 o'clock, mow the grass, wash her car, do whatever she tell me to do. I go run errands for my grandmother. But, man, I wouldn't change nothing about it. Again, it was a dictatorship, but, man, the life lessons, what that lady taught me, just never be a sucker. If anybody going to do something to you, you stand up. Never bow down.
Mm-hmm.
Never bow down to no man. Let your yes be your yes, your no be your no. And if you offend somebody, tell them you're sorry. You're sorry, but never bow down. Never bow down. And like,
if you had to summarize your mom in 90 seconds or less, how would you do so in terms of what she instilled in you and the legacy that she left behind that's living through you today?
you put Christ first. You don't move, you don't breathe, you don't do nothing without Christ. Secondly, you don't take no handouts. Don't never let no one give you anything, because if a person give you anything, they own you. They're going to tell you when, what, how, and where to use it. You always look a man in the eye, no matter what. And you just never be afraid. Never be afraid. I mean, I don't even need 90 seconds. That's it. That's her. Like, and that's who I am. Like, even growing up, like even with my brother, like I never met a man that I've been afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what type of reputation you have. You bleed just like I bleed. It's me or you. I never met a system I'm afraid of. No court system. I told the judge, I want to see you give me life, man. I did not do anything. I told the judge, like, they like, you crazy? I said, no, because I believe in my Heavenly Father. When I'm right, I'm right. I don't care. Because you sit high. Well, my God sit high and look low. That's the way I say things. Like, man, you're going to get exactly what you're looking for dealing with me. I'm going to tell you exactly who I am, what I represent, what I'm about, and where I came from. That's why I always be like, man, my mom is this. My mom is my hero. My mom is everything to me. And that's how I became who I am. Like, and we even, again, when you look at her kids, we pretty much all the same. We pretty much all the same. All the same. So I miss her. Lord knows I miss her.
If you could have 2 minutes with your mom, what would you say to her besides you love her?
I'm sorry. Because I took my mom through some things, man.
Yeah.
I was a knucklehead. Like, my mom hair, like, I turned my mom hair white and gray. She was always afraid that I was going to get killed. Like, because I didn't fear nobody. I hated bullies. I challenge anybody. However you want to do it, you want to fight, we could fight. You want to go to gunplay, we could gunplay. Like, I was just different. And she used to always tell me, somebody better than you, son. So I just tell my mom, I'm sorry. And I tried, like, I just do the best I can, man. Like, and that's one thing that bothered me the most, because when she died, she didn't get a chance to see the fruits from her labor. She didn't get a chance to get her investment, her return on her investment. Everything I took her through, and she died, and she didn't get a chance to really enjoy what she always knew I had the capabilities of doing. She always believed in me. She always said I was the most smartest, stupidest kid ever. That was my mom. So that bothers me so much, knowing that she died when I was in my early 20s, mid-20s, and like I was just finishing up in Indianapolis, working with Adrian in the Colts situation, and it just...
You remember, when I was going through my stuff and doing all kinds of stupid stuff, and you said what really bothered you the most was you said you still have a mother, Patrick, and the hell and the stress that you're putting her through.
Yeah, because I understand, man. Like, for a mother to go through that, be worried about their child, I seen that with my mother. I really did. And I understood more so when she died. And they just killed me. It killed me today. It really do. Because, again, she didn't get a chance to see everything that she knew I can do.
That's what I wanted. But there's
I know,
nothing like
of
her
course.
enjoying it with me. I seen Senator Rick Scott when I was running for office. I seen how he was with his mother when he was running for office. And, you know, people didn't know why I was crying. I was crying because I wish my mother could have been there when I was running for office. I see people with their mother, and I just be wishing I had my mother because everything, we were so close, so close. Like, I'm in college. I talk to my mama 3 times a day, every day, 5 straight years, right or wrong. I talk to my mother before I went to bed at night. I coming in from the club. It could be 3 a.m. I call my mom because she says she can't sleep until she know I'm in the house. So I call my mom, Mom, I'm in the house. I ain't going back out. We good. You could go to sleep. I'm sorry. Boom. Wake up in the morning. Time for me to go to class. 6:30, 7 o'clock. Mom, I just want to call to wake you up and say I love you. I'll talk to you probably about 2 or 3 in the afternoon when I get time. So that was, and now it's like, you know, I got videos and everything else of my mom on like Thanksgiving when all of us used to come back to mom trailer and all that stuff. I still be watching that. I still got a lot of my mom old letters that she wrote me in college, that the disappointment that I caused her and the grief. So I'll be like, I read a lot of stuff. I got a lot of memories, but at the same time, I got a lot of good things. But it's just those few bad moments. Like I just really wish, you know, that I can't get back.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get back. But my mom always been one of my biggest fans, my biggest support system. And again, it's like, it wasn't about no money. We didn't have none of that. But man, the love and the discipline, man, she would never let me quit. She was a football fan. She loved the Cowboys. That's why I stopped loving the Dolphins and started loving the Cowboys when she died. Everything I do in my life after my mom died is in reference to her. I live my life in reference for her. It's not my life ain't even about me. Like, because I just want to make sure everybody know the work my mama did to raise me. And this is what she done. Not my father, not my grandmother, not nobody. This all my mom doing. All my mom belief is in me. She always said, son, you can do whatever you want. You special. It's up to you on whether you want to do it or not. And so, and today, this is her birthday. This is my mom's death and birth month. You know, just the 17th, 2004. Man, man, that's the day my life changed for good. Like, it's over. You know, that's why I stopped partying and because I was going hard. I was in the streets going hard. I mean, I had a little fame, a lot of money, moving around like I'm the best thing going. But man, because I used to always tell my mom, like, man, I got a lot of time. Mom, we're going to be all right. And
most valuable asset in the world.
I wrote a paper. Matter of fact, Naples Daily News, they interviewed me my sophomore year. As a matter of fact, was the year I left to go to Miami. They asked me what my most beloved possession is. I still got the article. I told them my most beloved possession is my mother.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down. Hands down, that's my most beloved possession. I wrote a paper in college, undergrad, about my mother. My most beloved possession. Because nothing tops that. Nothing. But again, it was tough. But I know in that era, you had to be tough. Had to be. It's like you couldn't raise no punks, no chumps. It's like I couldn't go home. I'd be like, who I'm going home to? Like, Mom, I'm the baby. Like, Mom, this dude bothered me. Well, if he put his hands on you, you better fight him back. Don't come home crying. Don't come home crying. And don't let nobody put their hands on you. I'm the only one that can put my hands on you. And that's still to the day. Like, that's how I feel. Nobody can't touch me. Now, if I had a wife or whatever, like, yeah, you know,
women, because she can't really beat me or nothing like that. So I laugh at that, but no other man gonna put their hands on me. Period. You're gonna have to kill me. That's I don't care who you are, what you have, you gotta kill me.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's what she instilled in me. Nobody put their hands on yourself for the parents. And shoot. Another true story. I come home from college. I'm 20 years old. I'm in our trailer. I didn't know my mom was in the trailer on the farther end. And I come in. I'm on the phone. Yeah, I'm back in town. You know, I'm talking all provocative and vulgar to a young lady and stuff. And my mom was back there, and she came. And it was like I saw a ghost. And she slapped me again. She slapped me so hard. Wow. She said, "Why are you talking like that?" I said, "Mama, I'm sorry. I didn't know you was here." She said, "No matter if I'm here or not, you should not be talking like that." I didn't raise you like that. I like, "Yes, ma'am." I called my homeboy Tim. I say, "Man, bro, I'm ready to go back to Tallahassee, man. I just got home, man. My mom just slapped me." I said, "Man, I'm ready to go, man. Let's go back to Tallahassee." I mean, I had just got home. And I'm trying to set stuff up. Again, I'm 20 years old. Might have been 19, but it was just crazy, man. Like, she didn't play no games, man. Like, and tell the truth so I can have your back. So when I said I didn't do something, she going to war.
Mm-hmm.
But the things I had done, she's like, "Son, you got to own up to it. You got to deal with that."
Mm-hmm.
You know? "Sorry, son, you made the bed." Like, she used to tell me, like, "If you want to die, go ahead and die. You want to run them streets, you either going to go to prison or you're going to the cemetery. If that's what you choose to do, get out of my house and go."
Mm-hmm.
She was always by the right. She wasn't no rule breaker. Like, at all. Even my father, before he went to prison, he had a hell of a double life. That fake life, like he was working as a mechanic. He would be giving my mom a mechanic check, and he sold more dope than I don't know what. My dad was super multi-millionaire. You know, it's like when the feds got him, when they came to my mom, she like, "Who is this guy?" Like, y'all got the wrong person. Like, man, my dog, man, the houses in Miami, Tampa, Atlanta, Altoona, Pennsylvania, apartment in Pittsburgh, and a spot in New York. Like, and he always say he made his most money in Pennsylvania. But we never really reaped none of that. He was just a poor old mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
He like, and I asked my father about that. I said, "Man, all of that money, like, why you didn't leave us none, man? Why you didn't put?" He said, you know, we laughed about it. He said, "Man, first of all, your mom wasn't going for that. That's why I made her my wife. That's why we had the kids and everything else, because your mom was
Mm-hmm.
pretty much, as we call, a square."
Mm-hmm.
So she was a square straight up. I said, I get that. He said, "But," and then, like, even after they took me, I still had money out there in the streets. And I told her that, you know, I think one dude, like, he had like $650,000 he owed my pops. I mean, and he could have gave it to my father. I mean, he could have gave it to my mom. My mom, like, no. And I asked my mom, it was my junior year, and I was complaining about money. I say, and I was just straight up. I say, "Mom, I need to sell drugs." I say, "They got it. The drug dealers got everything." And my mom was like, "Son, they just look like they got everything.
Mm-hmm.
They always lose in the end. Look at your father. They all lose in the end. Get a job, work, and everything else." Even when I was making good money with Edrin and the Colts, she told me, like, she hated that. She hated my lifestyle. She said, "I hear about you running from state to state, city to city, you partying, you know, and I hear you got all these girls." She said, "Son, just get you one woman, get you a picket fence, and just get a regular job, be a regular person." I said, "Mama, I'm not regular."
Mm-mm.
I said, "Mama,
Can't
you know I'm
picture
far
with a
from regular."
9-to-5 job.
I said, "Mama, since I came out, I ain't never been regular. I always loved the spotlight." And she was like, "Son, that don't last. You're going to get in some trouble."
Mm-hmm.
She said, I see TV, I see everything that's going on. Y'all, them athletes, y'all don't believe in God. Y'all put God. I said, Mom, you know I believe in God. She said, you ain't going to church on Sundays because your job keeping you from church, and you're not going to Bible study on Wednesdays because you're working. So tell me something else. And the crazy thing about it is, moms always know best, and Mom was right.
Right.
And so by me putting God on the back burner, God made me fall down and plead my cause. Father, I am sorry for becoming of the world and doing all these things that I know better, what I should not be doing. And I lost it all. But you want to know something? Even though I gained a lot back later on in life, I'm much more happier knowing that I'm helping so many people. I'm giving so much of myself to so many people, and that makes me better. That makes me happier because that's how my mom was. Like, when I left to go to college, my mom, like, I had a lot of little adopted brothers and sisters and stuff. Like, my mom turned her trailer into a safe house for the state. So when kids been battered, abused, running, all that stuff, they'd be able to go stay with my mom because she was an empty nester. And so for the state of Florida. And so I remember, like, some of the kids, they used to be glad I was their big brother. I took them to a lot of celebrity stuff. Had fun, man. I miss some of the older kids. I felt like a big brother. I never had a chance to be a big brother. So, except for big brother to you. But yeah. So yeah, that was her, man. It's like, that was her.
All right. Well, I'm glad you got a chance to pay tribute today on the mic. It's only fitting, now, not that you haven't had a voice, but being able to do the podcast. And once again, we want to thank Tim and the new Studio 239
Yes.
for allowing us to do this. I also want to say, while we're paying tribute to moms, I'm going to something that I really don't say much because she doesn't really say much because that's not the way we were brought up. But I love you, Mom. And, I'm sorry for everything I put you through. And her birthday's coming up in a couple weeks. And to me, I could give her the ultimate birthday present here in a couple weeks because I'm approaching upon a milestone as well. So
yes, sir.
Yeah,
That's amazing. And nothing or no one could never replace your mother. People that was in my life, they knew what my mom mean to me. And when my mom passed, like my godmother, like Donna Leger in Gary, Indiana, may she rest in peace. She was big in church and everything else. She stepped up big, man. I needed that. I needed her. God put her right there, right on time for me. And over the years in life, other mothers just been asking me, can they call me son? Like, I met a lady on a campaign, Edith Hines. I met her. It was crazy. I'm knocking on her door. She just lost a grandson. I said, forget about me coming to your house to campaign. Let me pray with you and for you. That's how we connected. This lady called me her son to the day, along with her other son. Heck, Byron mother, Congressman Donald's mother, always treated me like a son. Meredith P. Brown, love you. I love you. Love you. Gayla, Erica mom, same way. I love you. Miss Lister, Cindy Lister, the same way. Like, people just really instrumental. Go to church with me and so forth. Like, I appreciate those people. Just knowing they can't replace, but trying to give me the wisdom of what a mother would give their child. Or on whatever it is, situation they think I need. And man, like, Lord knows, Meredith P. Brown, Byron mom, Congressman Donald mom, boy, she be on me like white on rice. Larry, I think you drinking a little bit too much. You should not be drinking. I love it, though.
Be careful out there, yeah.
I love it, though. I appreciate that. Miss Edith, she constantly be on me biblically. Like, I love it. Like, and that's the stuff that you need, man. There's nothing like having those people just reaching out. just trying to still help you be better and give you that motherly advice, that motherly love. And even though, you know, my mom, she's resting peacefully.
She is, and she's looking down
There's no
above.
doubt.
And close the show with a message to your mom as we wrap up this podcast.
Oh, man. Mother, I know you knew it all along, even though I didn't see it. Even when I doubted myself and wanted to do everything that I wanted to do, you knew better and God saw fit. For whatever reasons. But as long as the blood running warm in my body, I'm going to continue to live and lift your name up as the best I can and let them know that I am your child. I come from you. And this is your work and you're doing besides God. It's not me. This is what you raised. This is what you invested. And this is what you knew that I can be. And I wouldn't trade you for nothing in the world. I take all the discipline. I take all the hard times. I take all the struggling, you know, because that made me who I am. It made me that go-getter. It made me that man who don't make excuses. It made me to set out goals and achieve them. So for that, mama, I thank you. I love you so much. I miss you so much. And happy 74th birthday. I love you, baby.
That we close.